Hello and welcome to today's tutorial on Node.js. Now, Node is JavaScript for the backend. So this means it can be used for REST APIs, making routes, receiving requests and response from the client and sending back different pages, or going off and doing fetch requests to somewhere else to get information, or getting information from a database. And all can be done in Node. We won't get too much into some of them. Today's tutorial is just going to focus on the basics of Node, how to get set up, and what it's like to write in Node. So the first thing we do to get started is we use npm init to get our package.json file. We just go through these. I want to call my entry point server.js. So it's just a package name, version, description if you want to put one in. Entry point is where all of the root file, so where everything is stored and where all the requests go to. Just go through these and yes, we're all set up. So here's our package.json file. Now we just need to create the main file, which is server.js. Now to get started, we'll first have to create our server. So we just set up a variable called HTTP, and then we use require HTTP, and HTTP module just allows us to make HTTP requests and responses. The next thing we want to do is create our server. So we just use the HTTP variable that we've done, and we use create server. And now we want a function inside of that. So it's going to do a function which is going to do a response. So do a capital R, there we are. And we're going to write head. And 200 is the header response, so the status. So 200 is okay, 404 is page not found. And in here we can just do a content type. This isn't fully necessary, but it's sending back a content type in the header, just says what it's displaying. So in this case we can just do text plain and then response.end. And end in this instance is just what we will be sending back. So we'll just do the typical hello world. Now, if you're wondering where these responses come in, they're going to be parameters that are set inside the function. So we do request and response. And the last thing we need to do in this function is a listen. And this is telling the server where it's going to receive all of its inputs from. So the port number, and we're just going to use 5000. And then just to show that our server is up and running, we can just do server is running on port 5000. If we then save that, come down into our terminal, and we use node and then the file name, and run that. Give it a second in case it comes up with any errors. So it says port is running on 5000. Come down into here. Now we can refresh and we've got hello world back. So what it's done is it's created the server, so it's waiting for requests, and then it will return a response, which is the second parameter. We write ahead saying the status code is 200. And we're sending back in that header a content type of plain text. The plain text we send back is this here, which is hello world. and we're listening for all requests on port 5000, and that will be this bit here, the colon 5000 is the port. And of course, we've made the console log. So if we come in here and we go to console, we don't see it. But if we go into here, we do see it here. And this is because it's only console logging to this server, it's not console logging to the client, if that makes sense. The next thing we can do is we can try and think about how a server would work. So sometimes you'll see REPL, and this just means read, evaluate, print, loop. So read reads the user's input, passes it into a JavaScript data structure, and stores it in memory. Eval is it takes and evaluates that data structure. Print prints the result, and when it loops, if it loops the above commands until a user would, until we cancel out of it, essentially. So to get started with REPL, a basic case of it is just something like 10 plus 20 minus 5, and it would calculate what that is. So if we cancel out of here and do is that will just make a console log here. So console log 10 plus 20. We save that and then we run our, and as you can see we get 30 pop out here because it's read it, evaluated it, then printed it, and then we can cancel out of it and we could run it again and again and again if we wished. And that's essentially all it means when you see REPL. Is it reads something, evaluates it, prints it, and then it can go through it multiple times. You can also use all your basic JavaScript like for loops, whiles, do all of that. The next thing we're going to look at is some basic NPM packages that we can use in our Node environment. So, just like when you use npm on the front end, you can use npm I for install. We'll save it as dev and we'll use NodeMon. Now, just come into here and see if we can find some documentation. There we go. So here's what NodeMon is. Automatic restarting of application, detects default file extensions, ignores specific files or directories, watch specific directories, and works with server applications or one-time runtime utilities, and read, evaluate, print loops. Nice and simple. So instead of hitting this refresh all the time, if we run NodeMon, it will automatically do it. So if we come into our package.json, you can see here we got NodeMon, and now what we can do in our scripts is we can say, we'll just run it as start, and we'll run NodeMon server.js, can then save that. If we come in here and do npm run start, we'll see node1 server.js. It runs it all, and there we are. And now if we come in here and we'll just make another console log. And we save that, you can see it come up in the thing, restarting due to changes, and then run it again. And if we come in, nothing's changed on the page, but we got down here, no need to refresh. If we come in here, and we save that, it runs again. We come here, there we go. So we need to refresh for the front end, but not the server stuff, if that makes sense. Now, the reason that is like any server, if you're getting all your information from the server, then it has to receive a new request to give a new response. That's just how it is. But Node1 will update what happens on the server end and not the client end. So what we've just done is install an external npm package, and as you can see, we now got the Node modules for Node1. So what other stuff is there? Well, we can use other internal Node packages. So we could use OS or FS. OS is the operating system. FS is file system, so you can upload files. So you just do fs equals require fs, like so. Or of course you can use the other one, which was just OS. You can change that to OS. Now OS just can give functionality to provide operating system related functions. So you can get what the architecture of the CPU is and things like that. So if we just do console log os.arc, there we go. We get x64 because we've just logged out the architecture. So that's showing on my Windows operating system. I believe there's, I think it's CPUs like that. If we run that, we get this object back. So it says all of the stuff I'm running: i5, CPU, 2.5 gigs. I'm not sure why it's printed it 3 times, but there you go. And if we use home there, this is the home directory. It shows what I'm in, so it uses Ignis. And there's loads of other ones, we'll just do one more. Platform. And we get Win32 as the platform. So again, it's a Windows operating system. Other things we can do in Node is we can set intervals just like you would in normal JavaScript. So we'll just do here. So and then we set the time duration we want. Save that, and there we go. It just keeps running this. It's just setting for. I mean, you could name it anything really. Oh, this trackpad's annoying me now. So yeah, we could name anything. Run is a different function. So in fact, I think that's still running. Yeah, still running. We could also might as well just comment that out now. We could also handle errors. So if something is ran and it's incorrect, use. We'll just use some random thing at the moment. Okay. There we go. So it's come down, said I need to refresh, evaluated and printed this. We commented out the interval, and then we ran this thing here, and this catch statement catches if anything in the try section went wrong. It takes in the error, so we just put error to show that we're taking it in, and we just console log it out, and it says there's a reference error B because we haven't defined B here. So we could change that. We run it again. And nothing displays. Then we could do C. There we go. We get 5 back because we console logged it out, but we're not getting the error because nothing's wrong. If something is wrong, we get the error again. And that's how you can catch errors. Simply put in NodeJS. We could also catch errors inside of a function. So let's also use what we set up before, the file system. So I can show you that. And what we'll do is function node callback. So it's a callback type sort of function we're going to run, and then we can do if error console error, was error. Also need to pass in the error so we can know what the error is and then return it. And if we come down here, console log data, now we can do fs read file. That's not does not exist. And then we want to do our node callback. And then we can do fs read file. And then in here we can just do a file that does exist. So I'll just find one of them out. So I've got a file, just paste that in there. Do our node callback. What we might need to do is add in some escapes here. Right. That's why to put in the request. Sorry. Data and error. There we go. It works now. So yeah, there was an error, no such file. So yeah, that doesn't exist. So it prints out there was no error, and then it prints out what it was. And then read file returns that. If we get rid of this one, we'll just comment it out, run it again, and there we go. We get a buffer return. Which is the data from the file that was read. And that's how the file system can work with errors. So you can always find what error is, how you can read files from the file system. The next thing we can take a quick look at is the path module. So if we just do const path equals require path. Now we'll just come down here. Now the path module is used to handle and transform file paths. So we can do various things with this. So we can do like path.resolve, which uses is used to resolve an absolute path, or join. There's quite a few of them actually, but we're just going to do console.log. Just show a couple of them. So if we get normalize, path, well, just pass in that file we had before. And our escape characters. I don't think I have to do this on Mac, just on Windows. There we go. Out. Let's see. We can also do console. Path. Path.join, and then we just put in whatever we want to join. So we can do C. Yeah, users. And we'll just do more this. There we go. There we go. And it adds each of them into a path like up top. Console log. I keep pressing the wrong one today for some reason. Path.resolve. Pass in this file name, see what happens. There we go. Path.resolve, and it found exactly where our file is. We can also do console.log, and we can find the extension of file 2 just by path dot, I think it's ext name, and again we'll just pass in our server.js. We'll save that, and you can see it comes up with JS at the end. If we use that txt file, we can read txt. And if we just wrote in server, it would come up with no extension name. But if we take this. It comes up with no extension name. But if we write txt, we get text as the extension name. So I mean that could be used more for like if something is a certain extension file, then do this, or tell the user that file extension's not accepted. You could do things like that using that. But that's the simple basics of how Node works, essentially. So you can do all the fun stuff that you do in normal JavaScript just using backend. So we can request a HTTP file, we can set up a server and get it to listen. We can post out different things. We could also do a response.send. And we essentially get the same thing. We can console log stuff out, can evaluate functions, can set intervals, can catch errors inside of a function, and we can play around with file system and paths of file system structures as well. So all great stuff. Remember to leave a like if you like the video, comment if you have any ideas of what other videos I should take on, any other tutorials you have in mind, and be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to see more. Thanks for your time and have a nice day.